Hey everybody, it's Saturday and I'm excited for this shave, new soap that I get to use in this soap battle. Maybe a little long video today because I've got a lot to talk about along with the soap battle. Well, bruising from the gym today. Not sure how I got that. Oh, that's right. We were pulling a guy on a sled for his birthday around the building. Had a rope over my shoulder. But for the soap battle, I'll quick say what I'm using. Diamond, a Barrister and Man. Let me get into the scent profile real quick. And it is, the way they described it, they blended notes of freshly cut grass, stadium soil, beer, leather, pine, cedar, popcorn, and caramel to conjure up the unforgettable experience of attending a big league game during every shave. It's a very, very unique scent, guys. And then my aftershave, picked up yesterday. I'll get into the story of that a little bit in a second here. Malpais. And that is leather, cedar, mesquite, bay rum, black pepper, mint, bergamot, tobacco absolute, and ginger. So those are, that's the gear. I'm still doing the Cobra. Sorry for no shave yesterday, so it's actually going to get tested with 2 days of growth. It's a good little test for it. And I'm using the Fat Arley Brad Sear 29mm 2-man finest. And I'm going to start going ahead and loading, and I'll talk about what's over my shoulder there. Bring some water off. Pour bloom water on there. Do that sometimes, I don't other. Let's see. So, over my shoulder you can see, yesterday I went up to the Phoenix area to go hit a Reebok outlet to pick up some Nano 5.0s and just some clothes. There's a nice little mall. Was 40% off the entire store. You know, it was just too many good deals to pass up. So on the way up, I messaged Douglas and I said, hey man, by the time I get done there, I'm going to be wanting some lunch. Where's a good place? Casa Grande is kind of like halfway in between, a little bit more or less than halfway, but said by then I'm going to be starving, so where's a good place to eat? And he said, oh, we'll hook up, but our scheduled time frame didn't hook up for lunch. So he said, hey, just go ahead and stop on by. So it's kind of the haul that I got when I stopped on by. So really excited to try all that stuff. And real quick, the brush is loaded. Let me really quickly say my my shower routine is my pre-shave. And today I used a new product, Dr. Squatch. And it was the pine tar. I figured just by the name being a baseball theme, I would use that. And that was generously given to me by Douglas as well. He was given some samples by those bars from them, and he knows I use artisan soap all the time. They wanted him to try it out. And I guess pass them on. So I was fortunate enough to get a couple. And because to me, that's an under talked about part of our hobby. I know a lot of guys use it, but you don't hear a lot of guys say, hey, I use so-and-so's soap bars. Like I use Soap Commander, Ginger's Garden. I think who else? I've used some Sterling. I've used PAA, and now I use this stuff today. And I'll do a whole review on that product later at some point in time after I get more familiar with it. But I know they're talking, he had said they were talking about making shave soaps too. So might be something up and coming down the road. So get into that later. Another cool thing I saw, and don't worry, I will get into this soap. It's good I'm not talking about it now because it's changing on me as I'm lathering it up. But I also got to see, this is a tin of 1.5. Douglas did a video yesterday after some, for lack of a better word, trolls were questioning, saying his 1.5 formula, which we're in 2.5 now. And, and even that might be going away at some point in time. So why we're still worrying about 1.5, I don't know. But people were saying that the bubbles in there and all that stuff were because it was a melt and pour soap, and then they threw a top layer of another soap, of an artisan soap on top of that to say it was artisan. So he went and took time and made 1.5. And I got to watch that, so I can attest that it's artisan made. It's not melt and pour. And I was fortunate enough to get a tin. He's actually, I believe, in the video he mentions in there that Anybody who wants 1.5, he's got them. All you have to do is pay the shipping in the large tins, I believe. And otherwise the soap is free. Mine is unscented. The other ones, I think he just threw in burnt sugar. But awesome stuff. I'm excited to try it. Never had an unscented soap, so it'll be interesting to see. All right, on to this soap. As I was lathering, the leather started coming out. I'm trying to pull up the notes here, see if I can pick other stuff out. But the leather to me has definitely kind of come in. I don't normally refer to notes that often during the shave, but this one is just so complex. In the tin, I couldn't even find the notes yet. I'm too hard to focus. In the tin, I got a sweetness to it, which I'm guessing is the caramel. I honestly didn't smell any popcorn or anything like that. I don't pick up a grassy smell. I get an earthy kind of smell, but not a fresh cut grass. At least not in the like of Summer Storm. But it's got a very pleasing leather smell. It's not repulsive. It's not so dark. Once again, I always refer, since it's Barrister Man, it's kind of, people start to worry about when they see leather and they've smelt Rome before. It's not of that style. There's so much going on in this soap. Oh, and just a reminder, it's going up against Vetyver Santal. Taking a day off, people might have forgotten. I'm glad the leather is coming through, because that's why I picked Malpais, because of the leather notes. And that was, it was honestly between Malpais and Dapper Doc. All right, on to pass 2. See how it the scent redevelops itself. Yeah, I'm probably smelling, when I was saying earthy, just looking at what their notes are, because like I said, this is very complex to me. They say stadium soil. I'm probably picking up more of that earthy dirt smell than I am the grass. It's probably what's dominating my nose. Yeah, there's definitely a woody note. I don't get the pine either. I do get a little bit of wood, caramelish, you know, like a sweetness. It doesn't smell like caramel on the face as much, but it's like a leather, woody, soily kind of smell. Very fitting for, I don't pick up, they call out beer in there as well. Not getting that at all. But yeah, it's definitely an earthy, woody, leathery kind of smell. But it's not, like I said, it's not dark. So it's definitely very approachable. At least for me, if you like earthy scents, earthy and leather. If you don't, obviously this isn't for you. And that's where scent descriptions are important. But also be leery of notes. Because honestly, you can be deceptive, maybe, you know, be deceived by the notes of stuff. Because to me, a lot of people say, you know, one, we all know our noses are different. But some people, you know, you'll read a scent profile and it'll say, oh, it's got all this in there, and here's the top note, the middle, the base notes. But just because one product says it's got bergamot in there as one of its notes, doesn't mean it's going to be the same bergamot. Doesn't mean it's going to be the same vetiver in there. One could be an essential oil, one could be a fragrance oil, different manufacturers of the oils. So just be very careful with that. That's where if you can get to a brick and mortar store, that's awesome. Because you can kind of smell stuff. the soap smelled basically the same the second pass. Very nice and approachable. Getting a decent shave. Might have to do some touch-ups today. We'll see how this against the grain pass goes, because so it was 2 days growth. So we'll see how it handles it. Getting some soap on the handle. A little wet today. Really love this knot. It's my favorite of the Brad Sear brushes I have. There's just a little bit of scritch in there. Some good backbone. Tips are still soft enough. I've got an idea too. I won't tell the details because I'll keep it to myself till I test it out. But I've got an idea in testing out, comparing brush backbones and stuff like that. We'll see if my theory is correct in the next few days, hopefully. As Barrister Man always, boatloads of lather. I have never had a problem with Barrister Man soaps. Don't really hear too many people with issues with it, at least not that I've heard. And honestly, I think tomorrow I may once again take a break and use a different soap. I'm supposed to use Rome tomorrow, but I'm familiar enough with this razor, and I want to, out of respect to Jeff, I want to get it back to him quickly. Even though he said enjoy it as long as you want. I know it was already out on loan to Clean Shaver Scott Ostermiller. So I respect that, hey, the guy still wants his razor back. I'm sure he wants to use it. So I think tomorrow I might do my dual shave. Break out this and the Mongoose and see how they work to each other. All right, let me see where I'm at. 13 minutes in, actually not too bad with get there. Do like the goatee area. Everything else seems to be good enough. Honestly, this soap is slick enough. I really don't need to apply it. Kind of like head shaves, whenever I do touch-ups a lot of times, I wet my head, and especially with all the good quality soaps I have, I wet my head, and I just make sure it's super wet, and I just go straight at it. No irritations develop because there's such a good slickness behind on the soaps. But I personally know, especially these corners are really sensitive on me. It can get weepers real easy. So for that reason, I went ahead and I put some lather back up there. Plus, I got enough of it. It's also why you don't see me go against the grain on my upper lip either, because I know that'll tear it up. Alright, I'm going to go straight to cold water and see where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and pause this for sake of time again. I want to show real quick, just wash my face, rinse my brush, clean the puck off. I want to show one thing I do with my brushes when I'm done. I'll probably do this in a separate own little brush video as well. Got my towel here on the towel deal. And all I'm going to do, hopefully it can be seen, gently, just back and forth. You can see I'm not pushing hard at all. Just going back and forth. cleaning up the tips of moisture. But also a lot of times I've found if I don't do that, you'll start to see, even if I get most of the soap off, like 95, 99% of it, the tip sometimes will clump up a little bit. And so to me, just good brush maintenance. Plus, wood handle, you'll also see me, or you guys won't normally see this, but wipe it down just out of respect for the wood. I know they're treated, but that's what I do. So before I get into my aftershave, I gotta decide who wins. First of all, real quick, Mongoose did a really good job. The Cobra did a really good job on my 2-day shave. So we got Diamond, Vetyver, Santal. Both of them have their, as all scents do, their nice qualities. I can definitely see where Will was going with this soap, especially being out of the Cooperstown area. I definitely get it. There's some of those good quality notes in there. It reminds me, get that leather smell, reminds me of a baseball glove. And because it's, like I said, it's not like such a strong leather, but it's there. Get that soil, but the soil doesn't remind me of the field. You know, to me that's more like a sandy. I was a catcher, I was in the sand all the time. There are some of those sweetness there, like I said. In the tub, I smell the caramel more, not as much on the face. It's very, very nice scent. I'm going to say this, it will not leave my den. I really do enjoy it. Vetyver Santal, talked about it, Vetyver Lemon, Sandalwood. There's a vibrancy to this. There's the depth of the Vetyver. There's the brightness of the lemon. And as I remember I talked about it, they kind of switch the Vetyver and Sandalwood while you're shaving. So it kind of does a little switcheroo on me. And I like it just because it's got that earthiness, but it's really got that bright punch. So to me, Vetyver Santal is the winner. We'll stay in the #1 spot. We'll go ahead and start with Malpais real quick. Load some up. A little more for my head. Really need a head shave too, but I'll just do that tomorrow. And with most aftershaves, first use, I really try not to say too much about the smell. Other than this is very pleasing to me. It's got a warming effect right now. It's probably the bay rum. Bay rums tend to warm me up a little bit. But I'll talk about this one more in the future. I always feel like you have to talk more about the dry down. But initial on the face, typical PAA performance, you know, the way it feels. It's got a very nice scent profile to it. But I'll wait to see how that all finishes off. I've already read the scent description, you guys. You guys already kind of got a good idea from it. So I'll probably use that with Rome because once again it has the leather note to it. So not tomorrow, but probably Monday I'll attack that. I don't know what I'm going to use yet tomorrow. I might use the Dreadnought because that's a scentless cream and it won't really interfere. There's not much of a review other than the quality of the soap. The smell will be different. Where like Dolomiti, I want to be able to talk about that smell. So everybody, God bless. I need to start getting ready. I got church tonight. Got hopefully a round table, Wet Shavers round table coming up here at 4:30. And this will obviously be posted way after that, so can't really give too much details on it. I don't even know them yet, really. But everybody, God bless. I will catch you later. Sorry for this long video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm kind of surprised. I thought Diamond might beat Vetyver Santal. Shaping up to be a good final battle. So Rome will be Monday. Tomorrow will be the dual shave. So God bless.